good Thursday morning. As let's kind of talk a little bit, and I need to scoot a little bit. Let's kind of give you a little bit of where my mind is. Okay? And we're going to play with the palette that I've had for a long time. And it's going to be way out of my comfort zone. Yeah. So it could get real interesting. We may have to pull in another palette, but we'll figure it out. I hope that, and I know that I'm trying to get better at saying and stuff of that like that. I hope that in time that I can get myself to, my mind does not think in terms of what I'm going to wear tomorrow very often, or what I'm going to do, in clothes or makeup or what have you. My mind just doesn't work that way. Although, growing up, we kind of did. In my adult life, most of my jobs I wore a uniform for. So, there wasn't much thought that had to go into that. So whenever it comes to eyeshadows and stuff, because I would like to do a shop my stash, I would like to do that stuff. I can't seem to, I can't seem to think about what I want to use tomorrow. Does that make sense? If you have any advice, comments, or suggestions, drop them below, because your girl could use all the help that she can get. I'm going to prime my eyes. We're going to dive into this palette, and we're going to get a look together. Okay, I primed my eyes. These are the swatches from the palette, starting from this which would be the top row, to the bottom. And I know I'm a really bad swatcher. The only way that I know of on how to get better at doing something is to do it. So I pulled the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette. It's had some love. And I pulled the Rose Quartz palette just in case. We're going to go into, let's do this middle shade for using a unique deluxe brush, kind of fluffy brush. And we're going to back up and change our mind already. And bear with me, I don't know if I said this or cut it out of I think I switched it because, yeah, I can't say words. Saw the neurologist yesterday. Do have a mild to moderate concussion. Nothing that shouldn't resolve itself. Kind of the reason why I've been so more than usual. We're going to go into this shade. Got a few other little bumps and bangs. It is what it is. So the biggest thing is the trauma of it all. And I will tell you, getting in a car yesterday was really hard. Really super hard. But we did it. And thankfully it worked out to where it was just me and my daughter. So any type of negative reaction that I had, EJ didn't see. And that's a huge bonus. So I'm pretty happy with that. Which also, my vision, I've talked about it not, having trouble seeing even with my contacts in and with my glasses on. Didn't occur to me, oh yeah, and the excessive sleepiness and all that neat stuff. Oh yeah. I do have to I have to make a couple of phone calls to my ENT, to the physical therapist, and all that neat stuff. Nothing that we're going to really sweat. I grabbed Alter Ego number 3. It's kind of a pencil type brush. And we are going to go into this one. Just take that over the lid. Go back down and pull that crease shade. Go down onto the outer corner. And for kicks and giggles, just because why not, I went ahead and just took the same color that I put in my crease on the outer corner and the inner corner, little halo-ish. And take this top shimmer, and we're going to put it right here. My daughter and I were talking yesterday, and we were talking about being able to speak the language. She has become very fluent in Spanish, and I am extremely proud of her. She is she's increasing her skill set, and she's done it basically with an app and with being around friends that speak Spanish. And we were talking about that, and I was telling her, I used to be fluent in German. I'm not so much now because I've not used it in 30 plus years. I can understand it still to a degree. Go into this top color. But I was telling her, whenever my husband got out of the Army and I transferred to a different store. Not long after I was there, my district manager pulled me off to the side, and he was like, you are really good at this. And I had kind of walked in and just handled business. I always took good care of my customers. That was just the way that I worked whenever I was able to work. And he said, we're just playing the middle shimmer. When I was asked, what did I do? Because my sales ran off and left all my guys, sales-wise. And I told my boss, I said, for starters, I was trained to do this job by a retired Marine. If you want to know how to do a job, let a retired Marine train you. Or, retired military, you're going to know. It just is pretty much the way that it is. But I was telling my daughter, I said, the biggest thing that I told him, I said, I speak the language. And we were talking about how much easier it is. And I was telling her, I said, I enjoy learning about other cultures and learning about different people. For me, I can't say, oh, I love everybody if I don't know who everybody is. That's kind of a odd way to put it. What I mean by that is that, you got to be willing to open your mind and learn. There's different people. I got to take this down a notch, so I'm going to pull from This happiness was how I grew up. And I am part of a multicultural church by choice. And I love it. There is a lot to be said and gained from learning about other people. You enrich your life. Okay, so this is the look for today. Let's talk about what we did on my face, because we did something a little different. We are leaving that elf foundation alone for a little bit. I don't know why I am so determined to make it work for me. I just don't know. I guess because, I don't know. Anyway, went in with the two Anastasia Beverly Hills balms that I love oh so well. This is the shade 12 and the shade 7. And I had bought a backup of these, and they went on sale on the Sephora sale the other day for 50% off. And yes, ma'am, I picked up another backup. I used these a lot during the summer, and I love them. They work really, really nicely. This is kind of the finished, what you're seeing is what it gives me. I generally use no primer. Did the same thing today, except I'm using this instead of the e.l.f. Did use a little bit of powder on top of everything. Did a little underpainting with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, Camo Liquid Blush in Pinky Promise. I used the MAC Magic Extension Mascara. It is another favorite of mine. It is also one that I need to repurchase. There are some that I just keep in my arsenal. If you know, you know. On my lips is the Ofra Liquid Lipstick in... I looked all over for this yesterday because that's what I wanted to wear. Oh My Rai Rai is the color. I wanted to wear it yesterday, and I could not find it, and it was in this desk. It's amazing how just one misstep can my whole brain, because it was like visible this morning when I wasn't frantically looking for it. I think that pretty well. You know that we did our eyes together, the Huda Beauty Ruby Obsessions palette. And I'm going to show you real quick. I don't necessarily know that you have to do this. I do it periodically. If I pull out a palette that I've not used in a while, I keep this hospital grade, 91%, I think it is, rubbing alcohol. I keep it in a little bottle on the vanity, and periodically, I'm not going to actually do it because the dog will bark. I just take the palette, spritz, 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 let it dry, and that seems to, it sanitizes it. That's kind of all that I've got. Oh, did use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer that I have been using. Been really liking it. We do have another concealer to try. Sure, why I do this 5 days a week, generally speaking. It is, namely, first and foremost, accountability on my part. It's something that I have been learning to do, is to show up for myself. All too often we show up for everybody else and neglect ourselves. This period of time is kind of my self-care. It's my getting ready for the day. It is taking time to take time, if that makes any sense, to calm myself, to still myself, and to just be. I thank you for bearing with me these last couple of weeks, and if you please can continue, I'd greatly appreciate it, because it's going to be okay. I'm go back to quote the book that I love so much by Max Lucado that's entitled "You'll Get Through This." I'll get through this. It's not been comfortable. It's not been easy, but with the grace of God and friends and loved ones, I'm getting through this. Y'all have a super wonderful day.